Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Fez. So we beat the game and now we're in New Game Plus, which we're gonna give it the college try to get everything and at least try to visit every place if we can before I start probably just following a walkthrough in its entirety. Alright, so this area has a secret in it, and that's not a hard secret now because we know what this is. These symbols are actions we're supposed to do, but these don't. This is like a numbers, which I don't know the numbering system, and this probably isn't anything. And this probably isn't anything. So, like, up and right. Or right, and then right rotate, and then left rotate. Oh, maybe there's more of a secret here than I think. Because there's a numbering system also associated with this, isn't it? Yeah, there is a number on each one of these pieces of paper corresponding to an action. And the numbering system is the thing that actually is here, and yet I'm having a lot of trouble figuring out and I assume black holes won't appear in this section of the game, because that'd be a little weird. Here we go. We need to figure out how to count. Can it be a new direction? Whoa. So teach me numbering. So we have a height scale chart there that doesn't seem like that means anything. Unless the dots and dashes at the bottom are supposed to mean something. But if that is, I don't know how I'd understand that. A dot and then, yeah. The clock doesn't teach me anything. Is the numbering system not in here? It's not in this room. Was it in a different area? Let's see. Yeah, I think it's in a completely different area. Somebody teach me how to count, please. Where was the other thing? Is it over here? That's a classroom. Here it is. So, I think this is the first symbol. There. Or that's the first symbol. There. I got nothing. Like, the odds of me figuring out the right moves are far too low. So it's time to cheat. I've given it a college try as much as I'm willing to do. I'm gonna just type in Fez numbers and see if that explains it to me. Okay. I am confused already. I'm seeing a graph, and it seems an empty square is 0. A square with a stick pointing upward, like... oh, there's a one I can't even see. So how am I supposed to be able to read that if I can't look through things? I think the game is rude about some of that too. Alright, here it is. This going up is 1. I kind of knew that. And then if the stick was pointing to the right, that's 2. And if the stick is pointing down, it's 3. And if it's pointing to the left, it's 4. So it's just a full on clockwise system. But then something weird happens, because there's also seemingly a second way to depict things where you get, if you combine the two symbols, like this symbol over here on the right, then that gives you a different number, which is just the addition of those two numbers and not its own symbol. So while 3 is depicted as a stick pointing downward instead of a stick pointing upward like this one, it's also depicted as a stick going upward and to the right, which is crazy, at least in this picture. Maybe so there's kind of like an educational second way to make 3 and 4, where if you add 1 and 3 together, you'll get a stick going from the top all the way to the bottom for 4. And then from that bit of information, you're able to I don't know, like you're able to, I guess, sort of surmise how to make a 5, which can be made 2 different ways according to the image I'm looking at, as either a curve upward, so this symbol here should be 5, or a curve downward. So if you rotated this 180 degrees, and then 6 can be a line all the way from the left to the right, or it can be a curve upward and to the right, and then the curve up with the curve downward to the right, making kind of like a T-shape split, which I guess is not too different from that symbol. That's 6, but then if you rotated it so that the 2 dots were pointing upward, that would also be a way of depicting 7. So this is 0, and this is 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and this would be 4, and 6 if you rotate it at 90 degrees. And then this could be 6 or 7. And then this can be either 3 or 5 or 7. Let's see, can it be something else? 5 or 7 or, yeah, 5 again. And then the one at the very top here is 10. So by reusing the letters, the system, so it is up, then, unless we can find a 0, this would be the 7th step. This would be the 5th step. This one should be the 3rd step. No, the 2nd step. So up and then right, rotate to the right, I think. And then this should be the 6th step. And this should be the 3rd step. So up, rotate to the right, and then left. And then the 4th step should be, I don't see a 4th step here. 4th step is jump. We can figure that out. And then what was the 5th step? Is then right. And then we are looking for the 6th step. Seriously, is there not any easier way to look through things? Is there no options? Game settings, video settings. I see what would look like an 8th step there. Do we have a 7th step? I think we do. Okay. So what's the 6th step? We're looking for a symbol that would be either a T shape going the other direction, or is there something hidden that I'm not seeing? Yeah, the brief second I get to see this. Makes that look like an 8th step. So do I have to brute force this for the 8th? Or can we really solve this? Yeah, I don't see an 8th step even mentioned here. So at this point, I gave it the college try of trying to figure out the system myself, and now I'm just going to open a new tab, and I'm going to type in Fez boiler room and look up what the solution is. Let's see, furnace room came up. see. Tetris blocks form a button code. Each of these are numbered with the number symbols. There are a total of 8, with the last one is hidden behind the furnace. Use New Game Plus with first person mode to see it. First person mode? Oh my goodness. The left click button now goes into a first person's perspective. Somebody spent a lot of time making, like, effectively this game was always in 3D and then the perspective was just being flattened for our benefit, but that is some straight up insanity that we now have first person mode. But then that does potentially mean we don't have a translation of what's being said. So as much as that might help me, that also still kind of hurts me. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things still. And I really wouldn't make the argument still that this game had to be in this blocky aesthetic. Like, I still don't really buy that. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy that something's missing here. And I can't see it, but it's not even supposed to be the one that's hidden. There's only one symbol on this. From that point. Alright, well, the answer is up, right trigger, left A, right, left trigger, down, right trigger. And that's an anti-cube. And that is done. Maybe the trick was I was supposed to use this paper twice? I don't know. So, first person perspective. It's cool. No. But I don't know if that's super beneficial. We now need to exit through the gift shop, basically, as much as possible. This will help me in a couple of places where we saw those thrones and we could not see because of the thrones blocking our view. Right. What is the way out of this? Well, what this does point out, though, is that a lot of this stuff you can't really zoom in on, and it had to be pretty polygonal and pixely because they didn't want you to spend a ridiculous amount of time trying to read things, particularly now. Let's see if this guy So it looks like there are 4 owls in total. And then there also seems to be a camera. So he was, I think, using the camera as a way of photographing the birds. Ah yes, this was the one where we have to climb down, jump, and then jump, and then jump some more. And then that brings us to an area that I guess we'll just have to be fairly quick about. Some of this music definitely sounds like it is just there for mood. And am I to believe that there's a possibility that the world has shifted a lot? I don't think so. I think we're relatively safe to assume that not too much has changed. Alright. These doors are still open. So the absolute right thing to do here is to see if we can understand what these people are saying now. No. And where we are right now does have that one throne, and so let's get that throne, and then oops, once we get the throne room done, we won't need to come back to this until, and I guess if might be a better way to phrase it, we collect all the other collectibles. So yeah, it does totally feel like a new game plus is very likely. Alright, there was no way you were going to be able to read this. So right trigger, left trigger, right trigger, left trigger, right trigger, left trigger. So you go back and forth 3 times, and then right trigger, right trigger. Right trigger, left trigger, right trigger, left trigger, right trigger, left trigger, right trigger, right trigger. Or we could try that again, left trigger, right trigger, left trigger, right trigger, and then left trigger, left trigger. I've been rotating my head clockwise. Right trigger. It's always been right trigger if it was pointing to the right. So right, left, right, left, right, left, right, right. Right, left, right, left, right, right. Left, right, left, right, right. Right, right. Right, left, right, left, right, right. Right, left, right, left, right, right. Right, left, right, left, right, left, left. am I not getting here? It has to be something you trigger in this room, I think. If not, then I have to go and find where that giant throne is and input that code in that giant throne. So I'm gonna type in onto Wikipedia, and we're just straight up cheating now because it's gonna be just too much of a waste of time. Fez throne room. Let's see. The King's Throne Room. Let's see. Throne rooms can be combined to solve the sewer's QR puzzle without a QR reader, but it's really convoluted. Stack the 16 cube door temple codes from the newer throne, and above the temple warp zones code the dilapidated throne, and then read the code vertically, which would then be right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. If you solve the QR puzzle normally, and the throne rooms will turn gold completed on their own. So I could try that code here, but I don't think it's even going to work. Right, left, right, left, right, left, left. So maybe did that solve another throne room, which it would be kind of a nightmare to try and figure out where the other throne room is, but I don't think it's down here. Well, we've got this done, we've got this segment done. We need to do this segment in this one room. Once we do that, then it's this warp zone and further that still has things. Interesting, I suppose, turn of events we're having. Right. Each of those side sections that feel like they might be different time zones, we're looking for the Neo Tokyo building. Each one of those, we already collected everything in that area. That was a really simplistic section. They feel like those were just maybe very early ideas, or maybe there's a lot more to it. I'm fully willing to admit, though, looking at this text, unless this translates itself, that is just stuff that I'm not willing to deal with. Okay, see, here's the logo of the creators of the game, the company. So this is probably a bit of a self-referential thing. There's a couple of codes here. Let's see if we can do them. Let's see, right, up, and then Is that supposed to be a jump and then a jump and then is that supposed to be, yeah, it's supposed to be a right shift or down followed by a right, by an up and a down. Yeah, that, I think that's written wrong, and although the classroom doesn't seem to make that indication at all. Yeah, it says I should, okay. This is teaching writing or the number system somewhat. I should go up and then right and then rotate to the right and then rotate to the left and then rotate to the left again and then go right, up, right, jump, down. So right, jump, down. I hit it twice. And then it says, as the second part of that, I should, oh, it's like telling me not to do it multiple times. It is telling me step 1, reading from right to left, you have this connected symbol. Step 2 is to take that connected symbol and break it into individual symbols, which I wish they all would automatically do that because it's not a very easy to read thing. And then step 3 is to rotate it like I was, I guess counterclockwise, because I was turning my head clockwise. And so then the solution is just this line, which tells me I need to go up, right, right click, jump, left click, then right, and then A, then down. And so that would have been how I solved, how I learned this, instead of just roughly figuring that out myself. Although there are still some questions about what well, that anti-cube where we found that also taught us the same thing, and that was a much better teaching moment in my opinion than learning it in the classroom. Alright, so we need to get back to the area. These letters are not ever going to be translatable. I mean, I could look it up, but I don't know if it means enough to matter. And it looks like it very well may just be too complicated of a system. We're now going to be looking for the bell, which I don't think is this, but I think the bell, if I manage not to die. Let's just do this the right way instead of wasting time. I think the bell is this. Yeah. So we are here. There's clearly something more. Well, we have this. and all of a sudden we can try and read this because we have first person perspective, and it does seem like there's a language here. Otherwise, I don't know what else we could do. So kind of wish this area had a well, I guess we should leave this area and go over to the bell. Like, I don't want to just look up an answer, and I don't think I need to in this case, because I actually kind of get it. See. Nope, that's not the bell either. What door did we come in on? Alright, to the bell we go. And these guys suck. Are these gonna be in the way? Let's see if we can rotate around and see if we can enter with them not being in there. That does seem to work. So we should now understand the numbering system because I looked it up, and because now I understand the numbering system, I should be able to ring this bell in the right fashion, because I know now this symbol is 3, this symbol is 10, this symbol is 1, and this symbol is 3 plus, well no, 2 plus 4, 6. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. I did that wrong, didn't I? 5, 6. I'm thinking it's 6, but I think I'm wrong, actually. Alright. Back to the tab that showed the icons of the numbers and see if we can figure this out. This is 1 for sure. This is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. This is 3. That's great and all, but there's a problem. we're still running into. We need that water to drain, and we don't have an ability to make water drain. And it doesn't seem like we are gaining an ability to make water drain. And we can't go any further until we figure that out. So, unlike the other puzzles that I've done at this point, where I have a general clue and understanding of what to do, I have no clue on this one. And looking around, there's still a decent handful of things, but then there is also a lot of stuff that we've kind of done everything. So I think we are, with the help of cheating, going to be able to get everything done, and I think that that is probably the right move. Is it giving me a hint? No, it's just putting the thing on top of the thing. I almost wonder if that is supposed to be a hint that the water container in the other level is supposed to drain the water. But I'm not willing to jump around and look for that, so I'm gonna just go back to Google, open a new tab. I'm gonna have a ton of tabs open. Fez drain water. Let's see. In the waterfall room, enter the tetramino code on the pillar to open the door behind the waterfall. The valve in this room lowers the water across the first warp zone. This is unrelated to the moon door. Waterfall room, it says. Where is the waterfall room? It's over here. Right. So we weren't too far away from where we needed to be, but still, I think far enough away that it is realistic to suspect I would have major trouble. This is not where I want to go. This is where I want to go. This will take me to the lighthouse. It's not where I want to go. This is where we want to go. So I had just not been in this section enough, I guess, lately. So there's a door behind this waterfall. I'm fairly certain I've been in this level, but then I'm also kind of fairly certain that I haven't been in any of these levels in a while. So there's a decent chance that there are other things I haven't gotten. This was the one with the weird train tracks that I guess this is supposed to be kind of a Minecraft reference. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. Don't tell me I could have just climbed up this whole time. Yes, I could have. Here's one of the owls. The mini R1. The one is mini. Hey, that opened something. So... Alright. I'm just gonna look, since I already have the solution here, instead of twisting my neck. It is left trigger, right trigger, up, A, down, right trigger, A being jump. So left trigger, right trigger, up, A, down, right trigger, right trigger. And that's what this was. And here we have a room that has a valve, which we can just use to reduce the water level. Is there anything else in this room? Besides this door, I don't know if there is. And here we have a treasure chest that very well may just be a key. If not, it's the final collectible in the artifact. Interesting. We've collected half of a treasure map. Well, I don't know where this would be used. Is it the big square? Or what? By the looks of it, there's nothing more in here. So, a half treasure map that doesn't seem likely to play any other role. Now the water level has been reduced for the entire world by a kinda small amount. And yeah, I don't know what the birdcage thing is all about. We've been here before. Let's go this way. Alright. We have a lot of text and a lot of cubes. These cubes are seemingly in the right order, but I suspect that they aren't. So can we get a brief confirmation here? I forgot. I forget. Alright, so if we were to look at this, that symbol should be the first one. Do I see that symbol anywhere? No, all of these letters are different. This is gonna be a nightmare scenario. because it's almost certainly not something as simplistic as just pushing everything together. Interesting. They're all in line this way, but not in line this way. It seems like it might be locking in the right place, just out of some convenience, but I don't know. There you go. What happens when I do that? So, if you need to reset things, you do have the benefit of just pushing things off the edge. Or falling off the edge yourself. Or falling off the edge again. I don't get it. And so I guess what I'm gonna do, since we're already mostly done here, there's clearly 3 more cubes somewhere. And I'm a little surprised about that. I'm gonna have to look up the answer to the letter system, obviously. Like, I've got to learn to read this language, or just look up the answer to every single code after I learn that. The only thing that maybe, like this book, do we have something here that would make more sense? Now, this is possibly chapter 1, but then all of the text on the next section, like, clearly this is supposed to be translated, and if I solve this puzzle and it then starts translating everything for me, that would be great. But yeah, we're looking for this piece, and then we would want that piece, which I think I probably do have, and we would, some of these pieces I don't think would rotate quite right otherwise, and they are rotated differently, aren't they? Like, because this kind of feels like this should be the first letter, and though that's the same symbol. So you obviously have to spell something else out, because these are basically letter blocks you'd give the kids. Yeah, I'm gonna have to learn this whole reading system. There's 4 things of dialogue here. Unless it's some kind of crazy system where every column or something mint a letter, but that wouldn't make sense either, because then there wouldn't be 4 columns here, because that does not translate into the 7 or 8. I mean, maybe we could do it that way. And then this is 7, that's 4, and that's 7, so maybe there is something to be said about you need 4 symbols that are the right symbols under here, and then you need to take the other 4 symbols and ensure that they line up. But I don't think it's just that simple. Like, it's not going to be an easy job of stacking up symbols and then doing nothing else. Because this is asking a question. This isn't just saying draw a picture with your understanding of what we're doing here. And this one wants 7. So there could be 4 anti-cubes in this one area, but I suspect not really. I suspect that it's actually more of a smaller number. There must be a gap or something too, because I don't see how this would work any other way. So that's about as much as I can figure out, is that it should kind of look like this, but not quite. And I wouldn't be surprised if I find out that that actually is all wrong. And this is probably a room that would be best suited to be reset. But I think I'll do that offline too. Because, yeah, I'm a little surprised there's 3 more cubes. I am halfway thinking we're going to get the other half of this. If not, then I'm not really sure when or where we would use this. I mean, we've got a bit of a code, but I don't know where this was supposed to be. Is this some kind of code that you're supposed to do whenever you see a black hole? Because this is written in red, whereas like everything else is not really written in red. And then we've still got quite a few of the anti-cubes to get, and quite a few areas that we haven't even visited yet. But now that the water levels are lower, we can go here, we can go to the lighthouse, and then go here, and then go here to another area we haven't accessed, and go here to another area we haven't accessed, and go there to another area we haven't accessed. So a lot of that, I think, was relying on the water levels going down. As for the windmill, that was a key. So we have 1 key to unlock, and that may be the last key in the entire game. We may have just kind of procedurally unlocked everything else. Then this section, I'm almost certainly going to have to look up the answer for that. And the owl, maybe I can figure that out. Maybe I can figure that out. And then this area. Over here, once I figure out the reading system, I'll be able to do that one. I still have no clue what that is. This was a time one, so at some point I may just have to pause the recording and let time move forward in real time. Unless there's some other trick to do that one. That one seems like that's a particularly complicated puzzle. And then the last bits, and this is where we'll have to decide if we really want to do everything or not, because if I have to go through a platforming section and we don't look like we're going to get any kind of time slowdown process, this last platforming section to get the last cube may not be worth it. Maybe I would have to do that off screen, but there's still a couple of other places to check out and look. So it seems to me like we've got a couple more hours of gameplay, even with the cheating, even with this being New Game Plus. But yeah, I don't suspect I want to put 4 or 5 more hours into the game. It didn't expand itself enough for this to be more than a 20-hour game for me at most, and even that is probably twice as long as it should have been for most people, because it usually takes me about twice as long to beat a game. But yeah, I kind of wish I'd found more abilities and more things that would have helped me solve the puzzles in using some kind of device or some kind of helper interface, where the Witness also, in comparison, and I guess this is kind of a good game to compare to the Witness, even though it looks completely different. The Witness didn't ever give you any real item to use. It was just a knowledge you had, but the way that was implemented in the Witness was a lot more consistent and easy, where in this game you're learning one bit of knowledge to get one anti-cube, and that's about it. And then you have to go on and learn the next thing. Whereas everything iterated in the Witness, when you learn something, that core idea gets used over and over and over again for at least the section of the map that you're in the Witness, and usually throughout the rest of the game. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on the Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.